All right, people. All right. All right. All right. Okay. Fine. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Where the heck is the chat? You guys aren't coming up on the screen for some reason. Let's see. Wait, I see you and then it goes away. Oh, crap. What's going on? I see you and it goes away. Why are you guys going away? Did you notice that? Post something. Post something. Let's see if it goes away. Oh, dude, what the heck is going on with the... What the heck was that? You saw that? Why is the chat doing that? I'm so confused. Lord have mercy. It's always something, man. Hold on. Yeah, you guys are like... You guys are showing up and going away. Let's see, chat box. Oh. Chat delay. Chat delay? Message animation. Hide message after. Why is it doing that? Okay, send something now. What the heck? What the heck? Oh. What the heck is this versus this? There's two different ones. How'd that happen? Okay. Alright. There we go, guys. Alright. What was that game? What was that? Hold on. I got a new thing I can add to the streams now. What was that game? Hold on. What was that? Wait a minute. That didn't work. You guys didn't hear anything, did you? A little confused. It's not working. What the heck? Okay. All right. Why is it doing this? Everything's breaking down. Everything's breaking down like the San Antonio Spurs tonight. Oh my God, they sucked. They sucked so bad. They sucked so bad, bro. They sucked so bad. Hold on. Where is the... Okay. I don't know why it's doing this. What's up, Clan? What's up, man? Super chat. The super chat didn't even come up. The super chat didn't even come up. Oh, is it turned off? No, it's not turned off. Okay. restart the stream. I don't even know what's going on anymore. Echo? No, that was on purpose. I did that on purpose. But I can't control it from my Stream Deck. I literally fixed this yesterday. Oh my god. Why is life like this? Because look, I got it right here. Wait, guys, send a message. Okay. The chat's working at least. Thank you so much for the super chat, by the way, Chris. I was hoping that the freaking thing would come up, but it's not coming up, my man. So you didn't get the little cool thing that I added to it. I'm sorry. I guess I gotta mess with it later. I don't know what's going on. Thank you for the super chat, but I'll put... No, what am I doing? It will be an alert. Where's alert? Alert. Alright, super chat. It's right here. Gosh, I can't tell anybody to send a super chat. I can't say that. I won't tell you to send a super chat, but... Alright, let's get rid of it. There we go. Alright, so hopefully it shows up. Okay, man. Alright, guys. That's I don't know. I don't know what you want from me. I don't know if I was supposed to talk with this game with enthusiasm. I have no idea. All right, let me get my stuff situated, y'all. Let me get my stuff situated. And we can talk about this game. I guess if you want to talk about this game. Let me say yes. We were trash. We were absolutely garbage. We were absolutely garbage. And I don't know what the update is. Oh, cool. Everything worked well just now. Okay. All right. Am I? Oh, no, I'm cool. I'm cool. All right. So, honestly, I don't know. I honestly have no idea what you guys want me to say about this game. I mean, it was absolutely abysmal. Absolute trash. Travesty. Just absolute garbage. Terrible. I got some takeaways. But sitting here and honing in on the stats, I don't know if we should even, I don't even know if we should do that, but we'll take a look. But good God Almighty, bro. Good God Almighty. I have some concerns, and obviously my cat can tell because she jumped up here. She was like, oh, you need some emotional support. Maybe she's saying that, or she just wants more attention. Okay, all right. They deserve better than this, but before we get into anything, big shout out to Sleeper for sponsoring this segment. If you guys are interested in daily fantasy sports, go check it out. Use the promo code CLAN and you get a 100% match up to $100. Or if you don't care about any of that, just use it for sports social media, in which you get to see updates on injuries, updates on what's going on around the league. Obviously, they have this Keldon Johnson poster right here. Look how beautiful this is. Look how beautiful that is. Bang. Yeah, but it's a bunch of stuff on here. You can just kind of see what's going on around the NBA if that's something you are interested in. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about this game. So you got to get down. I know. I'm going to be okay. We're all going to be okay. Me and the chat, we're all going to be okay. We don't necessarily need you right now. Okay. We don't necessarily need you right now. Okay, girl. You go play. You go do cat stuff. This game was terrible, y'all. It was terrible. So first and foremost, just from player to player. We'll just go player to player. Maybe I should just bring up the stats. Spurs, she came back up here. Spurs, ESPN. Let's go to stats. So our San Antonio Spurs get their first loss of the season, right? And was it a loss? It was a loss for the ages because they got absolutely steamrolled, whooped on. And you would have thought that, oh, maybe it was just, you know, a really hard fought game, 118 to 130. If you didn't watch this game, I can just go ahead and sum it up to you right now. Am I freezing? Why am I moving? Why are my frames so bad? Why are my frames so bad? But I can sum it up to you like this, okay? The Spurs showed little to no effort whatsoever. I mean, that's really what it came down to. Little effort whatsoever. The Phoenix Suns, it's nothing they did special. The Spurs also, coaching-wise, stayed in a zone the entire game, which I'll be transparent and say I don't really understand why we were in a zone for so long. It wasn't working. It didn't help. Phoenix Suns were hot tonight. Obviously, you score 130 points. I think their three-point percentage. What was their three-point percentage? I feel like they hit like 70% of them. Let's see. They hit 57%. So they were nearly 60% from three to our 24% from three. But when I say that the Spurs showed little effort, I mean they showed little effort. It was absolutely pathetic. It was absolutely pathetic. Devin Vassell had a negative 23. I was like, well, what do you do with that? Wembanyama, most of the game, I think the whole half, first half, he only had like 2 points. And you would have thought, oh, they're doing something special on Wemby. They're just doubling them like every other team has done. And one thing that really bothered me was I actually did listen to the Spurs commentators this time. And Sean Elliott was sitting there like, oh, you know, you're not going to win all of them. And, oh, it seems like the Phoenix Suns are really, you know, making all their shots tonight. What do you do with that? And I'm just like, are we watching the same game? Like, there's no effort. Victor Wembanyama looked absolutely disengaged for most of this game. He looked disengaged. He wasn't giving hard screens. I mean, he asked for the ball a couple times. Spurs were missing him. I mean, it felt like his rookie year all over again. It was bad, y'all. It was bad. And like, you can excuse a lot of stuff, but you can't excuse the effort. And then by the time that the Spurs kind of picked it up a notch, it was too late. You know, you're about 8 minutes left in the fourth. They have a pretty sizable lead on you. The Spurs go on a run. That's nice. But at this point, it's a little too late. It's almost flipped of what we've seen from some of these other games where the Spurs play so aggressive and in your face and really bothering you up to like the last few minutes, and then they start to waver a little bit. That wasn't like this in this game. It seemed like they were on their heels the entire time. And then the Suns, and then near the end, the Spurs really, you know, picked it up. But it was ugly. It was absolutely ugly. The whole game was ugly. It was not fun to watch. Now, a few standouts, because one thing really scares me, but a few standouts, okay? I thought Keldon Johnson was fine, right? I know if you follow me on Twitter, you saw like I was like pumping up Keldon, like I was really hyped, and then he immediately missed 2 free throws, and I'm like, oh my God, come on. But at that point, I didn't have too much faith that we were able to come back in that game. So Keldon Johnson brought the energy, right? Steph Castle, while at the beginning of the game, he really wavered, by the end, he was really picking it up, right? He played really well overall. Does it matter? No, it doesn't. But like I said, Devin Vassell was trash. Victor Wembanyama was trash. Julian Champagnie was fine. You know, you don't expect too much from Julian. But he was fine. For a role player, he was fine. But yeah, just overall, guys, there is no game in which Wembanyama, with his, I hate when people do this, and I guess I'm about to do it, but with his skill and with his height, there is no way, no how. That's like a Ludacris song. That's a whole Ludacris song, isn't it? There's no way, no how Victor Wembanyama should only have 9 points. No way. No way. And to me, that's coaching. I'm not saying Mitch Johnson was a bad coach tonight or anything like that, but I would have liked, especially with that lack of effort, I would have liked for him to just sit a lot of them. Like, I felt like Wemby should have sat. I didn't know if something's going on where, like, Wemby felt tired or exhausted. I know that last game was pretty rough, but it's been a few days now, you know? So I don't know what was going on there. But I honestly felt like some of these players should have just sat. I mean, I would have been cool with the you throw in David Jones Garcia in there. I do believe, just on a lighter note, I do believe that the Spurs, because we were expecting everybody to basically be back like pretty soon. We thought maybe today, right? Like that's what I was hearing. Like today would have been, but that was a few days ago. But what the Spurs are probably doing is just waiting out until Wednesday. Nationally televised game. Everybody can come back and you're good to go. So that's more than likely what's going to happen, because good God Almighty, you needed them. But Wemby looked exhausted, I guess. He looked disengaged. That was the most thing that I saw. That was the main thing that I saw, where I was like, what is going on with you? And here's another thing, though. When you play as poorly as the San Antonio Spurs played in this game, when you play as trash, hold on, I gotta emphasize that trash. They played like trash, garbage. Indubitably, I don't know why I did that. But when you play that bad, one thing you cannot have happen is the referees ref this game the way that they did. There was a play, I know you guys saw it, when the Spurs were going on a run. The refs called 3 fouls on Castle in a row that were not fouls. They did not let Castle play at all, bro. It was like, what do you do? What is he supposed to do? And especially the third foul, it was just a clean contest, and they called a foul on him. It's like, what do you want him to do? 3 in a row? 3 in a row. Wemby, it was one foul they threw on Wemby, which gave him his third, and I thought the Spurs should have just challenged it, because I'm like, it's like the second quarter, and he got 3. This is going to be a dangerous situation, but we didn't challenge it. But Steph, man, I don't know what the heck that was about. They gave that dude 3 fouls in a row. Am I tripping? Where is personal fouls? Yeah, they gave him 3 in a row. So from that time on, like, he couldn't play defense anymore. It was terrible. So you had the refs doing what they're doing, but you can't play this poorly because you got to make your own luck. The refs were horrible. They were so bad, y'all. They were so bad. If you didn't watch this game, you would have no idea. Like, you would be so confused. Well, actually, even if you watched the game, you were confused. So I can't tell the chat this. All you guys know, you watched the game, so there's no point in me bringing it up to you. But I'm just going to say this. They called a technical foul. And on this roster right now, I'm trying to look through and I'm like, who in the world would get a tech? Like, seriously, like with this, who would get a tech? Keldon? You know, maybe I could see Keldon getting a tech, maybe. But the last person I would expect to get a technical foul is Stephon Castle. They gave Stephon Castle a technical. They gave him a technical, and the refs were so bad, they didn't even know his name. They said technical foul on Stephon Castle. They didn't even know who he was. Who are these refs? Who are these refs? And it's one thing, guys. It's one thing, okay? It's one thing if he is like an unsigned rookie, and you just screw up the name. He won Rookie of the Year last year. You're an NBA ref and you don't know the name of the guy who won Rookie of the Year? Stephon Castle? And also, that tells me, if you don't even know his name, that also tells me that you don't even know the personalities of these players. You don't know how to officiate this game. You don't know how to officiate this game, because he's the last person to get a technical. They replayed it and I was like, oh man, he must have said something really crazy. He did nothing. He did the same thing that any NBA player does when they're a little frustrated, like, oh man, get out of here with that technical, execute him. Like, what are you talking about? Get the Hounds. Like, what are we talking about? Mitch Johnson got one, which is like, okay, I guess I could see Mitch Johnson getting one. But Stephon Castle, and then you mispronounce his name? What is that, bro? What is that? I don't know what that was about. That made me so irritated. I was like, Castle, I just don't see how you mispronounce his name, and I don't see how you give those technicals to him like that, or a tech on him. Like, he is the most chill person on the team to get a tech. I would expect anybody on the team to get a tech. Maybe minus, like, Harrison Barnes. Like, anybody else but Steph Castle. That was ridiculous. So they were calling fouls back to back. It was ridiculous. I won't say that much of a hostile crowd. I mean, it didn't seem like there was that many fans even out there, honestly. But hey, it is an away game. But when you come in and you don't play with much energy, and it worried me a little bit. Well, I was actually looking forward to this game because after we got down by a good piece, I was like, okay, let's see how the Spurs respond when they're actually down. And they responded like crap. They responded like absolute crap. So a few things. Oh yeah, one more negative thing. So Dylan Harper got hurt in this game as well. So we don't really know the updates on it. He was playing very well, right? He was about to save us like he always been saving us this season when the Spurs start screwing up. But he did get hurt, came down. It looked like it was non-contact, so that makes me a little worried. It seemed like he had chipped around a lot. I don't know. I won't put that label of like injury prone on Dylan Harper, but he gets beat around a lot. Like, he's always grimacing or holding on to something, or I don't know. He worries me a little bit. But in this game in particular, so he tried to sit on the bench. They took him to the back. That's a bad sign. But, you know, he was back on the bench with the team and everything afterwards. And the fact that he did want to sit on the bench is a big deal, because it shows that he wasn't like agonizing in pain. So we'll see what it is. Hopefully it's nothing crazy. We know, well, I don't say we know, we don't know, but I'm gonna assume that it's not something that's like torn or anything, because that would have been way worse, right? But yeah, so hopefully Dylan Harper is fine, but I'm gonna go ahead and put my money on we're not gonna see him for a few games. Knowing how the Spurs are, I'm gonna make that assumption we're not gonna see him for a few games. So as soon as the Spurs are starting to get everybody back, we lose Dylan Harper, which it's fine, right? The most important pieces that the Spurs need right now are Fox, Sohan, and Cornette. Most important is Fox and Cornette. I think those are the most important, because you need a backup center, and we absolutely need a starting point guard to keep this thing calm. And then Sohan is, to me, is like icing on the cake as far as defense, because I don't think that the Suns knock down as many threes. The one thing too, guys, motor is a skill in and of itself. It's very important. And, you know, Keldon Johnson has a motor. I never said he didn't. I never seen a game where Keldon Johnson isn't like putting forth effort. He makes mental mistakes, right? But I think a lot of it comes down to, hey, maybe he's just not, you know, good enough for certain situations. But Keldon Johnson brings that motor. I've always seen Keldon Johnson with a high motor, and I've always seen Sohan with a very high motor, right? And shoot, I would even say Castle. I don't think I've seen a game with Castle make mental mistakes sometimes, but I don't see his motor is always there. So they have a high motor. Vic really makes me nervous with this game, because this was a big test, because the Spurs, yeah, they went 5-0. We were all excited, which let's be honest, guys, if the media didn't tell us that they were going to go 5-0 and that's the first thing we ever did that, no one would care. We wouldn't care, because that just seems like something we would have done before, right? Like, we won championships before. You would assume that maybe we start off a season 5-0. Like, that doesn't seem that big a deal. But the Spurs are really excited about it. Obviously, we had a good time with it. But I was curious on how the Spurs would respond after such an emotional, physical game of the last one. And I can deal with us losing, okay? There's a few games this season we could have lost. I do not mind losing. It's okay. Like, you're going to lose some. I know we're going to make the playoffs, and I think we're going to be a high seed, but you're going to lose some games. I can deal with it. But what I can't deal with is lack of effort. And it seemed like the Spurs just wasn't there. Like, Wemby wasn't there, y'all. Like, defensively, he came alive. Like, he's Wemby, right? He came alive eventually, got the 4 blocks. But he didn't seem as disciplined as he was, you know, the first 5 games. You know, he looked a little bit out of control, almost like he was back in his rookie year. And that's going to happen sometimes. But him not scoring or not, like, forcing his will in a game like this where everybody seems low energy, except for a few guys, right? Steph Castle, Keldon, Dylan Harper, even Carter Bryant. I give Carter Bryant that too. He wasn't low. He's never low effort though. But with you being the leader, you can't go into this game, bro, and not have effort. You can't go into this game and you see how much your team is struggling, and you see how the Suns are just putting up numbers on us, and y'all not figure it out. Even the place in which they were giving Victor the ball was very strange. It was close to the 3-point line, like near the baseline 3-point line. It's like, what are we doing? Why aren't we being patient, allowing Wemby to get positioning? Why aren't we moving when Wemby has the ball? Why are we just standing around? But yeah, if Wemby should have fought a little harder, guys. I'm sorry. Biyombo is trash. Well, he's just not a backup center. So Harper's soft. Nobody said Harper's soft. You must be talking to somebody else. Harper's not soft. He just get hurt a lot. I don't mean he's soft, but I don't know. Maybe you just gotta, you know, build a little muscle on him. Wemby's not a winner. Oh, calm down. We're not saying all that. Hold on. Can I make this a little bigger? Because I can't see you guys right now. There we go. That's a little better. Yeah, nobody's saying all that. Wemby's not a winner. I never said that. Yeah, I never said that. L takes right now? Oh, you mean through the chat? Yeah, calm down. Wemby is a winner. I'm just saying in this game, Wemby has to attack. Where's Cavs to blame, Sohan? Yeah, for real. But yeah, so not a lot of positives to come out of this one. The only positives I have is we're going to get some guys back, but I would have felt much better about this loss if I thought that the Spurs tried harder. You know, can't be celebrating off your 5-0. And I also would have enjoyed seeing Mitch Johnson sit everybody. And I know we got that pop in us, right? But like, sit everybody at this point, because the effort was low. The only guys that should have been playing that got regular minutes is Dylan Harper and Keldon, right? I would have liked to see more Garcia. Throw Minix in there. Just screw it. Guys that's hungry. What are we doing? Wake them up a little bit. That's all I'm asking for. Yeah, I feel like it was something else I was going to say about this game. What am I missing? There's something else that I took from it. See, Devin, Wemby. Maybe that is it. Oh, no, I know what I was going to say. I didn't bring it up. No, I actually did bring it up last game. But it's kind of hard to grasp, right? Like, so one thing that's bothered me last year with Mitch Johnson was that he kind of holds on to a group of guys, right? Like, I was constantly advocating for other players to play. Like, I felt like you need to find a way to get Malachi in that game. You need to find ways to get Blake Wesley in these games, just so guys can get a little rest, right? And I wasn't convinced that you can't use them at all, because Popovich managed to do it, and it was fine, right? For the most part, it was fine. So I just felt like, hey, you need to find a way to use these guys. In a game like this, and I feel like throughout this, you know, short season so far, we've kind of held on to our group of guys. There's been some good rotations, but in a like long 82 game season, you're not going to manage to do that, right? Like, you can't keep doing that. You can't play a only subset of guys almost like we're already in the playoffs, right? The people are going to get exhausted. I'm not saying you shouldn't be this exhausted by game 6. Okay, let me throw that out there. But it made me a little worried. But the only thing that kind of holds me back from like getting too worried about it is the fact that we're missing like a bunch of people. But in a game like this, this would have been the excuse to play some other guys. But yeah, I've never been looking more forward to taking a look at a post-game show, or not post-game show, a press conference than I am tonight. But yeah, Carter was awful in the minutes he played in his first half. Offensively, but defensively, he was nasty, bro. He was nasty. We just need a little bit of effort. I can deal with a loss, y'all. I can deal with a 20-point loss. If you just so good and you just beat up on us, fine. But the Suns punched us in the mouth and we never punched back. Well, a few players did. But for the most part, as a team, we never punched back. And it starts with Vic. You guys know I love Victor Wembanyama, but it starts with Vic. All those people that's like, oh, you only get on to certain players. No, dude, no. I'm just honest. Vic should have been better tonight. And maybe I wouldn't be as harsh. I wouldn't be as harsh if I didn't know how good he can be. Like I wouldn't be as harsh if I didn't know how good he could be. But you're a superstar. 9 points? You don't even get to 10? You 9? Get to the rim. Do what you flop. I mean, I'm a Manu Ginobili enthusiast, okay? Flop. By the way, Steph Castle got to learn how to flop. That was not a good flop. He tried too hard on it. A flop. Do something. Get to the line. You're 7'7". You have incredible skill. You've gotten stronger over the offseason. Why? How do you take only 14 shots? Steph Castle took more. Keldon took the same amount. How do you take 14 shots and you don't get to the free throw line? I know these refs sucked, but there's a multitude of players that got to the free throw line. Barnes, Julian Champagnie, Steph Castle, Keldon, Garcia. In 5 minutes, he got to the line. I mean, Carter Bryant. I always mess up his name. McLaughlin? Dylan Harper? You can't get to the line? He got to do better. He's better than that. No, refs did suck, but you got to find a way, bro. And one thing that I've said before, and like, you know, Wemby doesn't have that many flaws, but one big flaw about Wemby is, well, last year it was conditioning, right? His first 2 years it was conditioning. But one thing that I really think is a flaw is his inability to engage with refs. McLaughlin, thank you. His inability to engage with refs is a big issue, in my opinion, in my books. I think he takes it on the chin too often. And he said before, like, oh, I don't like to play politics when it comes to the refs or whatever. Bro, you got to, bro. You got to. Every grade has done it. You got to do it. Learn by their names. Complain. Talking about Steph Castle got a tech. I would have liked to see Vic get a tech tonight. As much as they were pushing him around and punching on him, and you know him diving for a ball, and you know Booker smacking him around. It's like get in those refs, man. Create a little chaos. Wake your team up. You're our leader. Your number's number one. You chose number one because you want to be number one, which he actually said that. That's not even like a joke. Be it. Wemby's better than that. Look at this man. Look at this man's game log. Look at this man's game log. Look at this. Miami was way more physical. They were way harder to deal with. Our boy put up 23 shots. 23 shots. Got to the line 3 times. 4 times, sorry. Got to the line 4 times. That's what you need to do. 9 rebounds. Well, I guess they didn't miss a shot. But still. Look at this stat line. If I showed you this stat line and I hid Wembanyama's name, who would you think this was? You would have been like, well, I guess the 4 blocks would have gave it away maybe, but you probably would have been like, 14 shots, pretty bad percentage. Looked like Devin Vassell had a bad night tonight. No, this is Wemby. Anyways, Spurs will have a lot of guys back soon. And I would have just felt more enthusiastic about it if they would have showed effort in this game. But we're down a lot of guys. I mean, that's just the fact of the matter. We're down a lot of guys. And the fact that the Spurs managed to fight through as many games as they have thus far, those first 5, speaks volumes to their character. And I just expected more out of them this game. And I never in my life want to see Wemby only put up 9 points ever. I would 9 points is fine if you were 4 and 50. I want to go 4 and 50, bro. In this type of game, you need a Wemby to just figure something out. But that's him and the coaching staff. They gotta. I don't know why we were giving Wemby the ball so early without him positioning first. It was ridiculous. He was so far away from the basket. And Wemby was able to show his strength a few times in this game. So it wasn't a matter of last year's problem where he just wasn't strong enough. But yeah, another telltale sign on how you could see how Wemby was so off this game. 6 turnovers, man. He started off the season with 0 turnovers, 2, 4, and 3, and then he doubled that tonight. Gave us 6. But yeah, we're out a lot of guys. I know that was very negative. We're out a lot of guys. It's just I can't stomach how they played most of this game. I just can't. I can't stomach it. It was so hard to watch when I've seen a Spurs team play with so much effort. So this isn't me like throwing in the white towel or whatever. Was it white towel? Is that what they say? I don't know. Throwing in the towel, waving the white flag. That's probably what I meant to say. It's not me saying that the season's over, everything's trash, everything's garbage. Tonight, they were horrible. And we got a lot of guys that's going to come back, and we'll be fine. And the effort will be back. But I don't like that. I don't like it. But it happens, I guess. What's up, clan? What's up, man? Oh, let me try to fix this, because I noticed when we were doing it, the screen was off for some reason. Oh, that's weird. Okay. Oh, that's really weird. Oh, I see what it is. Okay, I see what it is. Let's see. What is it, like? Shift? Shoot, I messed up. I think it's shift. Oh, no, it's not shift. Is it control? No, it's not control either. What is it? It doesn't matter. If I move... No, it does matter. Alt? It's Alt. Got it. There we go. I was wondering why the screen looked like that. That's weird. Okay. Well, Spurs were absolutely horrible. They were terrible. And I want to look at this press conference. Okay, I got to take a look at what's going on here. All right, I'm gonna try my best to be a good boy. Okay, I'm gonna try my best not to crash out, but no promises. A big shout out to Sleeper. As you guys can see, if you guys are interested in daily fantasy sports, go check it out. Use the promo code CLAN. You get a 100% match up to $100. Or if you don't care about any of that when it pertains to daily fantasy sports, you can go on here and you can take a look at updated injuries. You can take a look at updated stat. I didn't want to see that. Shout out to Sleeper though. If you guys, I did not want to see that. Why they post that? Why they post that? Wait, why would they post that? Not so, Sleeper didn't post this, but why would this? Jason, why did Jason post this? The Pelicans are now 0-6, and then they showed Wemby getting dunked on. Maybe it was Sleeper that posted that. Don't post that, Sleeper. Join Sleeper though. Use the link in the description. I didn't want to see that. Didn't nobody want to see that. All right, who we taking a look? I gotta listen to Mitch Johnson. I usually leave it up to the chat, like, hey chat, hey guys, how you doing? Everything's great today. We just won. Who do you want to listen to first? I don't care. I don't care what you guys say. We gotta listen to this coach. Please Tell me what happened. Please tell me what happened. And I don't want to hear, I'll tell you this right, I'll preface this. I don't want to hear that they're young. I don't want to hear, sometimes the opposing just has great shooting nights. I don't want to hear any of that. All I want to hear is that the San Antonio Spurs played with little effort, and I'm gonna whoop them tonight. BTA. I'm gonna get my belt. That's all I want to hear. Especially the belt part.
Any further news on Dylan's injury with the extent it might be?
I don't.
They better be ready Wednesday. Larry, they better be ready Wednesday. A national televised game. Can you imagine this is a nationally televised game? We wouldn't hear the end of it. Nobody knew this game even existed. No one's going to remember it. No one cares. But, oh, my God.
I don't.
I'm sorry. I didn't hear the question.
Mitch, do you know any further news on Dylan's injury with the extent?
Oh, Dylan Harper's injury.
I don't. I believe it's something to do with his calf, but I don't have anything as of yet.
Will that kind of speed up possibly bringing De'Aaron or some of the other guys back?
One injury isn't going to speed up the others, not necessarily, but I do think that Spurs were holding off until Wednesday because we were 5-0.
Short-handed.
No.
William playing anything you guys played with?
Stupid reporters asking about injuries as if the teams revealed that one the same day. I mean, you got to ask, You got to ask.
I think we're optimistic. There's 2 more days. Again, it's that funny part of the schedule. So you have, almost 72 hours, and everybody is trending the right way. But one person's status won't affect anybody else's. But guys have been getting closer and closer. So we'll just have to see how it breaks in the next couple of days.
I swear to God. I swear to God. Cornette better be back. Sohan better be back. Fox better be back. Lindy better be back. Olynyk better be back. I want Manu better be back. Everybody should be back.
It seemed like they were pretty chippy with Wemby all throughout. How much did that factor in?
Yeah, they were very chippy with Wemby. No punchback. Nope. And this is the reason. I know. I don't care. People are going to be like, oh, of course you're going to bring him up. These are the type of games where you need Sohan. These types of games. They were just beating up on Wemby. And Wemby doesn't necessarily have like the mannerisms where he's just going to like pop you back. He'll do it with his game. You remember the Chet game, right? He go into your chest or whatever. But like Wemby isn't the type that's going to get real chippy with you outside of it's all of his basketball, but outside the scope of basketball, right? This is where Sohan comes in. That nuisance, the nasty nuisance that's just going to flip you. No one else on his team done that. I'm thinking of all the fights that we've had over the course of the last 3 seasons. It's all Sohan. It's all Sohan. Those things are important. I wasn't crazy about Dejounte Murray, but he would squabble up with you. That stuff is important. You need guys like that. You needed him this game. The way that they were just pushing around Wemby. It's gonna be like, no, you can't just bully my guy. You needed him.
I didn't give a ton of credit to Phoenix. I think they imposed their will on the game. They're physical.
I swear to God, if he says they just couldn't miss a shot, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. Big part of it was us.
They were competitive.
Yeah, they were great.
They set a tone from the jump.
Yep.
In a variety of ways, and physicality with all of our players.
Yep.
Was definitely part of that.
It smacked us around.
I've seen some teams that send the kind of the top 4 that can handle picking the post, and then they'll send help, whether it's like big spinning in the block or just have Mark Williams come over and do big post. Like, how does Vic have to learn from the adjustments that these teams are making?
Wemby was literally Wemby looked like a big part of his game. Wemby looked like Ja. You guys saw that Ja game in the Lakers game where he was just like standing around near the end. I mean, it wasn't that atrocious, but like Wemby was not as engaged as he should have. Please. I know you don't want to get clipped, but please, just please. Be honest. I saw it. Be honest. I'm not a basketball genius, guys. I'm not. I'm a fan like the rest of you. Okay. I do think that I'm more logical than some of the fans I see out there, but My two eyes showed me what was going on. Wemby was confused. Everyone looked confused. Wemby specifically, like I.
Yeah, I think he's going to see a variety of schemes and defenses, as we've already seen the matchups. To your point of who is the profile guarding him, and I think he and we all need to be better. I don't think anybody was specifically very good to start the game, and then we kind of got caught chasing our tail. They made some shots, and it's hard when you give teams life. And not saying they were obviously the reason that they were playing that well, but when we didn't give enough resistance, it can really make it hard when you let teams start getting comfortable and in rhythm. And I think we had a big part of that. And then I think offensively, the same thing, when you don't put in the same details, and whether that's where you catch the ball, where you pass the ball to your teammate, where you set up on your cuts to get open, and where to go after someone else gets the ball. Those things are very connected. And so we have to make sure if they send two people on anybody or try to take something away, we have to be able to take advantage of that, and we did not do that at all tonight.
Far from the first team, you feeling really high one night, it was reality a couple nights later. I feel like this full of those type of teaching moments that really.
Yeah, I mean, the season's long, and so again, there's teaching moments in every game. I think we did not start with the proper.
Are we worried that the pace in which the Spurs are trying to play at this season? Well, I guess we're missing so many guys, so it'll be okay. Yeah, we're missing a lot of guys. I won't trip about it, because a lot of it's also built for Fox, how fast we try to play. But what's not going to work is very tight rotations when we have, like, in this game in particular, you could have just threw in some third strings with that lack of effort. But I'm wondering, will this wear the team out? It shouldn't, but we know that Wemby had some issues last season, or last couple seasons.
Approach, and it is hard to fight an uphill battle.
Everyone is gone. I understand. 5-1, everyone's gone. I understand. I can deal with a loss. I told you this before. I can deal with a loss. There's a couple losses. If we would have been, just 500 right now, I could live with a couple of those losses. But this one, I can't deal with this loss. I don't like this loss, because I just felt like it was just not effort. What? Chip England needs to come home. No, it has nothing to do with Chip England.
Battle to chase in this league, and when you don't start with the right approach, and someone does to the level that Phoenix did, you can be in for a really long night.
Another thing too, people are going to target Wemby. Like, Wemby has a target on his back. He always has, but now it's been a couple seasons, and now the NBA is really starting to promote him, right? He's everywhere. These quotes that come out, of like insightful things that he says, he gets so much attention. People want to be the ones to say you're not all that. They want to, and the great ones overcome that. Like, no one can deny, like, you're just foolish if you deny Michael Jordan's greatness, right? Teams have tried him, but he's that great. He lives up to it. In a game like this, I guess for me, it really frustrated me, because you can see the smugness of the Phoenix. I'm not saying the players are being smug. That's probably the wrong word, but like, they wanted to get at Wemby. They enjoyed it. They basked in it. They wanted that game to be like, Wemby ain't all that. Like, you could see it. And I felt like the Spurs didn't respond to that same energy. And that bothers me. Because a great player, they can do everything they can to say, we're going to stop you. People say, Steph Curry, he ain't all that. Well, go play him. And see how good he is. Same with LeBron. There was a lot of people counting out LeBron when he was, when he first got to the league. I mean, even his own teammates were saying he's going to be a good role player for the rest of the guys. Like, make people, force people to see your greatness. And Wemby has done it on occasions, right? Everyone knows how good he is, fan-wise. But these players don't think like that, man. They're going to go in there and be like, you ain't all that. Look at Dylan Brooks. Dylan Brooks was like, he tall. Anything that stands out about Wemby? He tall. You got to show out, man. Wemby was out of it. I saw him raise his hand a full second after Nick Richards had already shot the ball. He looked like his defense, even though he still had 4 blocks, his defense looked a little bit more like unorthodox, out of control, like rookie Wemby a little bit. Worried Victor seems tired, 20% energy of first game. Man, the first game was like, ain't nothing you can do about it. I am that great, you know? And I know that the Mavericks just aren't that good either, but it was like, I'm coming at you. We're supposed to win this. I'm coming at you. And this one, it was like they punched him in the mouth, and he's just like, oh, well, I'm here.
Yeah, you know, I just thought it was escalating prior to that, and so that was, from my vantage point, just I thought it could have probably got nipped in the butt prior, but it was, I don't know, I was surprised. It was competitive and physical, and they set a tone, and typically if you're reacting as much as we did, that means you weren't ready from the jump, and so that was the least of our problems, and we probably deserved it.
Okay. At least we got a banger. Hold on. Where's the button? There we go. Hold on. I'll do it right after you say it.
I don't know. I was surprised. It was competitive and physical, and they set a tone, and typically if you're reacting as much as we did, that means you weren't ready from the jump, and so that was the least of our problems, and we probably deserved it.
There we go. Thank you. Good job. These are so short. I'm used to them being a little bit longer. But he's right. You didn't deserve it. Good God. You didn't deserve the win. And I don't expect, by the way, I probably should say this. I don't expect Mitch Johnson to like necessarily get up here and be like, you know, give us some like inspirational quotes and, you know, him to be like turning red on how upset he is or anything like that. Like, this is professional sports. Like, they are professionals. And at the end of the day, you know, this isn't a college team, you know, that you got to pump up all the time. But Popovich didn't have to pump up teams all the time. Like, you are professionals. You know what you're supposed to do. You know what the issue is. But he just has to emphasize what the issues were, you know. And he's not going to single anybody out. But I will. Wemby, you got to do better, buddy. You got to do better. Lots of players didn't bring effort, but we ain't going to win games, especially when we're missing this many people. Hopefully they come back, but you ain't going to win many games if our leaders or the guys that's going to bring aggressiveness on the offensive end is Castle, Keldon, and hopefully Harper's back soon. We'll see. But yeah, Harper did look great until the calf, but can't save us for too long. Can't just keep saving us these games. If we're going to use John Garcia's, then let him go to a team where he could flourish. I don't necessarily think he's like a star, because a lot of times when guys don't play and they're like third stringers, it doesn't mean they come in and then they're going to be like phenomenal. But I agree with you that he should have played, especially this game. You desperately needed some scoring. And if guys ain't going to show up to play, then sit on the bench and watch. You know? Like, he's saying like, oh yeah, they weren't here to play. If you're not going to play, then go sit down. Some other guys want to play. Some other guys want to bring some energy tonight. Carter Bryant is ready. You know? He's ready. All right. Okay. All right. It's so frustrating talking about this game. Steph Castle, he had some stuff to say. Shout out to today's sponsor. I'm so sorry. I'm usually on my stuff, but I'm this game whooped me, man. If you guys want to make me feel better, download Sleeper And it's an app in which there's social media segment in which you can see a bunch of highlights, injury reports, updates, news, all that good stuff. So you can get all your Spurs NBA news here. Or you can head on over to the pick section. And if you're interested in daily fantasy sports, that's very fun as well. Go to the NBA, you scroll down, you do some, I think you'll score more than this, less than that, all that good stuff, and win yourself some money. Just use the promo code CLAN and you get a 100% match up to $100 if that's something that you are interested in. All right, let's take a look at what Steph Castle had to say. All right, so Steph, you, my friend, was one of few that actually showed some freaking effort. Now, the beginning of the game, and it's very apparent that you're not a point guard, but the beginning of the game, you had me worried, buddy. You had me worried. But his defense was phenomenal. Refs did not allow him to play defense, so he couldn't get too physical. They were like, yeah, we don't do that. We don't do that. Yeah, we don't do none of that. And Steph was like, what? Play defense? And they were like, yeah, defense. We don't do that here. You just gotta let Booker do whatever he wants. And they also didn't know his name. They called him Stephon Castle when they called was it a technical? Yeah, the technical foul. That is crazy that this guy gets a technical foul. He's like the chillest person ever. How does he get a tech? Him getting a tech, maybe it's not the equivalent of this, but kind of. Like him getting a tech is like if Kawhi gets a tech. It's like, what? Why did Kawhi get a tech? How did he get a tech? Whatever he said, it was the tamest thing ever. Meanwhile, I'm watching Warriors games and Draymond Green is telling refs that he's going to murder their family. And they're just like, oh, there's that Draymond.
This Wemby's pretty physical. How do you guys counter that in the future? You've seen it a few other times before. Kind of reminiscent about recently.
Yeah, I think we got to get to our spacing spots a lot quicker. Give him more space to where he can see where doubles are coming from and have his outlets. But yeah, I mean, just taking our time. I mean, we know teams are going to do that. Teams don't want to.
He's right. And also, I also just thought that where they were giving him the ball was just strange. It was very strange where Wemby was positioning. They were doing it way too early. He wasn't positioning himself into the paint, or near the paint. It was very strange. And Wemby usually likes it at the top of the key. They weren't doing that either. It was like baseline near the 3-point line, passes to Wemby. I'm like, what are we doing? What are we gonna do with this?
Guard him one-on-one. So I mean, we watched film on it, so we just gotta be better at it. Yeah, I mean, I feel like we kind of needed this. I feel like we were starting.
Yeah, bro, you smack you in the face. They smacked you. They whooped you. They whooped you.
Trying to get a little comfortable. So this is kind of a wake-up call for us. So, I mean, I'm happy to see how we're going to respond on Wednesday.
Man, was it a wake-up call? I'm glad that he actually mentioned this. You know, a lot of times players don't actually say that. I don't hear players say that often.
Yeah, I mean, in these type of games, I mean, we see it all the time. Teams come back, so I mean, we knew we weren't going to give up. So I mean, he's just trying to put that energy and confidence into us. I mean, that's just what he does as a coach.
They were blocking the passing lanes every time Wemby was in his spots. Then we should have had some open shots, huh? I think the one thing that does worry me a little bit, which I'm starting to see what some of the chatters were saying like a few games ago, is shooting going to be a problem for us? You know, because other than Champagny and Devin, yeah, it's a little rough, right? I'm hoping that if Lindy Waters doesn't work out, the Spurs might have to reach out and see if they can get another shooter this season. Because this is a really good team and they should make a run. So yeah, if you have to do it, you have to do it. Find you another shooter. But that's one thing that worries me because they basically were like, we'll let everyone else beat you, and then everyone else was like, Yeah, that's fine. You can just beat us.
Oh, didn't play the type of game anymore.
You can just win.
Just over this first 6 games.
It's like that.
What improvement?
The Spurs were like that SpongeBob meme. You guys remember that? The SpongeBob scene where Plankton is like trying to get SpongeBob to be a little bit more assertive. And he has that ice cream. And he's like, Plankton's like, yeah, now let him have it. And then SpongeBob just gives him the ice cream. He's like, you can have it. That was the Spurs tonight. You can have it. Open 3-pointer, you can have it. Free throw line, you can have it. You want to steal the ball from? You can have it.
A lot with patience. Taking probably easier shots. I feel like him trying to get to the basket.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna let him finish. Somebody said WimVP. That reminds me of another thing. I want to say this before I forget. These teams are going to be gunning for Wemby because there was also just a betting line or the probability or possibility or whatever you call it, of Wembanyama getting MIP, MVP, and Defensive Player of the Year. They want to gun at him. They want to be the ones to make that fiction.
It all the time kind of brings so many people, brings a lot of crowds. So, I mean, with his height, I mean, where he gets his catches from, I feel like he's been just facing up and rising over for a way easier shot this year. So, I mean, I feel like his patience and just his ability to read the game, and then his defense, I mean, it's always been there. So that's always going to improve. So, I mean, he's got the full package, and he'll bounce back for sure.
Unofficial diagnosis on feeling it, but you have to go a little bit without it. That's more when you started the season with 3 point guards, and now is this even more responsibility for you?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I still don't know what happened to him either. So, I mean, as far as I know, he's playing Wednesday in my eyes. So I don't really know how to answer that.
Considering how you guys started out this year, do you think teams that you went stronger, somewhat big and hunted as opposed to the hunter now?
I feel like we get every team's best game, especially with having Vic.
Teams tried that against Jokic and Murray just killed them instead. Well, that's going to be the beautiful thing of having Fox, right? And Dylan Harper was murdering them this game, right? Like he was like 5 for 8. Like he was on fire, bro. So, yeah, I don't know.
Especially how good of a player he is. Teams have to be ready to play us, and I mean we understand that. So I mean we have to bring that same type of fight to every game.
Is Castle and Wemby the same as Kobe and Shaq? No. Closest thing to that they'd play completely different, but it would be like Dylan Harper. Like Dylan Harper is more talented. Castle is really good this game, by the way. He's very good. Castle is very good, but he's not a Kobe and Shaq good. Like that. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. I like your enthusiasm though. It's really, I like your enthusiasm.
Probably just the emotions of the game. I mean, just a bunch of guys competing, wanting to win. I mean, words were said. I mean, obviously the ref didn't like it, called it, but I mean, it's part of it. I mean, we all want to win. We're all just out there competing. I mean, it happens.
By the time this is uploaded, I have no idea if we'll already know, but you said, is it a calf strain from Harper? I have no clue. But we'll see. My prediction is a couple weeks. Just knowing the Spurs, at very least, it's going to be a week or two, at the very least. But the good news is he did try to sit on the bench, and they forced him to go back to the back. But I guess that's a good sign, but we don't know.
Got to go back and look at it. I don't know how good my technique was. I mean, I'm going to argue every call. I mean, I don't think I ever foul, so I don't think anybody in the league thinks they do. So, I mean, they might have been fouls. They might have not been, so I got to go back and look.
I was watching for you, bro. You don't have to. They weren't fouls.
You just talked about taking on Devin and taking on everything else each night.
Yeah, it's probably the funnest part of the game for me. I mean, just growing up watching all these guys and then being put on that primary matchup is definitely a blessing. So, I mean, I look forward to all these matchups and all these games. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to be looking forward to the one Wednesday.
Thanks.
Appreciate
It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one. Hopefully some guys are back. It'd be good for the NBA. I'm sorry, I'm irritated. And not because of Castle. He's great. He did great. He did fine. I like him taking accountability for the fouls. There's this narrative going around. Let me just say this right now. There's this narrative going around that I don't like Castle because I've criticized him being put at point guard. So I need to mention two things, right? Number one, I've always liked Castle. I was one of the main people pushing for us to get Castle in the draft when everybody else said that they want Zachary Risachet. And I was praying that Castle would land at 4 because I did not want anybody else in that draft but Steph Castle. That's number one, okay? And I still feel that way. I really like Castle, all right? Number two, people have said, well, Clan, what about all the stuff that you said about experimenting at the point guard position? Because you're getting upset that he's running point guard, but you love when Jeremy Sohan ran point guard. Well, these are two different situations that elicit two different reactions. Number one, with our boy Sohan, that was during a tanking season, right? You think I would have been okay with Sohan coming into this season running point guard? No. Okay? No. I don't like it. I wouldn't like that at all. So you're during a tanking season. You have room to experiment. And I said that multitude of times that we're going to be losing a lot of games anyways. Experiment, allow him to get that, experience. Castle, we're in a season where we're trying to win it, basically win it all, right? I don't know if we can, but we're in a season where we're trying to win it all, and we're definitely going to be in the playoffs. So in that type of season where every game matters more, yeah, I don't want to just sit back and just experiment, right? Like in this setting, it is an experiment. It isn't an experiment. Let me say that. It is an experiment. But when you had Dylan Harper right there and multitude of these games now, you had to be like, okay, let's just switch it out and have Dylan Harper run point. Yeah, it gets a little irritating, right? And that's how I feel about it. But if this was during a tanking season, I wouldn't care. Last season, I didn't care. It was another kind of tanking season. I didn't care. Wasn't a tank, but it's kind of a tanking season. I didn't care if Castle was running point. So, yeah. That's all I have to say about that. Thoughts on KJ this season? I like KJ. Keldon's doing a great job. He still has his Keldon isms, but if I'm like getting on to him about that, like that's nitpicking because I think Keldon has been great in his role. I think the Spurs have been able to simplify his role quite a bit, and he's really embracing it as he always does, and he looks better. Defensively, he looks a little better too. Still not a good defender. I still wouldn't say he's a good defender, but he's doing a fine job. But yeah, he's doing a fine job. All right. Any other of these? Any more of these? I'm so tired. I'm so tired, man. I'm so tired of this. Of course they wouldn't talk to Wemby. Yeah, they're not even going to. Of course we don't talk to Wemby. That's the man we need to see. He need to explain himself. Our journalists aren't even that bad. Like, they wouldn't grill Wemby. They would have been cool about it. Mitch didn't say anything when he was punched. Yep. All right, let's see here. Okay, so Okay. So. All right. So we haven't talked about this news, but I think that we should, because this actually is a very, very big deal on what's going on here. Now, before we do, really quick, if you guys are interested in daily fantasy sports, go check out Sleeper. Link below in the description box. You get a 100% match up to $100 if you use the promo code CLAN. So use the promo code CLAN, you will get a 100% match up to $100. It's very simple. You just choose what you think. Oh, this player have more assists than that, or they'll have less assists than that. Whatever you think. You put it all in a package and you can get some moolah. If you're not interested in that, you can at least go over to the NBA section, in which you can keep up with live scores, injury updates, overall news, highlights, all that good stuff. So go check it out. Sleeper in the description box below. But yeah, really, really good stuff. All right, so guys, this is something that I did not bring up, and I thought was a big deal. So Trey Young got injured the other day. And I never pull for anybody's injury or anything like that. Like, I thought the Atlanta Hawks would be bad regardless, but he ended up getting injured. And when I saw him post this, I just assumed that it's something pretty bad, right? It says God never makes mistakes, and then he gives a proverb. And honestly, a lot of times when guys start to post like things pertaining to God's plan, then that means this is a bad sign, right? So I was actually expecting some pretty bad news, but it was better than maybe we expected or people expected, but still pretty bad nonetheless. So Trey Young, he has sprained his MCL in his right knee, and he's gonna miss 4 weeks. So he's gonna miss a whole month. And as you guys know, more than likely it's going to be a little bit longer than that, because that's just how it goes. And it says here, how will they succeed without Young? They start bringing up Dyson Daniels, and he said had one of his best offensive games of the season, stepping into the point guard role with Alexander Walker taking over the 2-guard spot. Those two combined for 39 points, and Daniels had 6 assists. Yeah, that's all good and dandy. That's all great. But guys, this is not a good look. This is not a good look for the Atlanta Hawks, and I don't expect them to win many games whatsoever. So they just lost a game against the Cavaliers, and right now, if we're looking at, and I probably should have mentioned this. I don't know why I didn't mention this. If you guys don't know, we have Atlanta Hawks swap. So our pick isn't going to be that great, but we have their swap, right? So regardless, we're going to end up getting their swaps, because theirs is going to be better than ours. And the Dejounte Murray trade is just a gift that keeps on giving. So it's a beautiful sight to see that the Atlanta Hawks are going to be pretty bad. But if we're taking a look at the NBA standings, currently they are number 9. So everything's super close right now with all of these teams. There's a bunch of 3 and 4 teams, but I do expect them to struggle over the course of the next month. And we see some of the games that they have coming up. They got some pretty hard fought ones that's coming, right? Like some that stand out right off the bat is the 2 LA teams. That's going to be a tough one. They got us not that long. Pelicans shouldn't be that bad. I don't know when Zion's supposed to be back. So I'm not quite sure with that one. And then they go into the Cup. They got the Cavs again. So it's not the worst in the world, but they're going to be fighting for their life over the course of the next month, right? They're going to be fighting for their life, and I expect them to win maybe 30% of these. So we'll see what happens, but I think this is it's sad news with the injury. Don't want it to happen like that, but keep an eye on the Atlanta Hawks. And one thing that would be insane is if the Spurs end up getting another top lottery pick, because the funny thing about it is I've seen so many people on Twitter thus far saying that the NBA is rigging everything for the Spurs. Maybe there's a little bit of truth to that, okay? I don't know. Maybe there's a little bit of truth to that. We just weren't supposed to get the number 2 pick. getting the number 1 pick after tanking for like a couple seasons or a season, or it's crazy. But it could also just be luck, right? But the Spurs have also made their own luck. So it's probably going to confuse a lot of people when they're like, how the heck do the Spurs get another lottery pick? It's because that our front office is very smart. They think things ahead. And even when I said right when it happened that Dejounte Murray trade was a horrible trade for the Hawks, horrible, there were some Spurs fans actually convinced on how good Dejounte was. No. He wasn't a true all-star, if you know what I'm saying. So the Spurs did a phenomenal job in manipulating teams and making sure that Dejounte just is able to do whatever the heck he wants. And then on top of it, I won't go into it or anything like that, but if you just want to feel a little bit more validated on the whole Dejounte thing, he's still doing stuff online. It's still the same. And I saw some people like talking about the woman or whatnot, but I'm just like, bro, it's the same thing every year, you know? But it says here, star Dejounte Murray cries out on IG after his girlfriend and baby mama, Jania Michelle, who is also NBA Youngboy's baby mama, went out to the clubs in Houston after flying out for work, despite promising him she would never go to clubs when they got together. It's so silly to me, because a lot of it comes down to is looking inward, looking at the partner that you're choosing, and that you want to be with, and maybe the way that you two see, your worldviews just aren't aligned, right? And that happens. But Dejounte just constantly do it, and then he just went on a long rant, the longest of rants, about like blaming fans for saying, like, praising her and how she should be here when she's really there. And this is stupid. It's stupid, okay? And all I'm saying is, with how terrible that last loss was that we suffered, at least we can sit back and say the Atlanta Hawks are screwing up. The Dejounte Murray trade was so worth it. And we look great. I just realized there's a video of her having a good time partying. And I guess Dejounte don't like that. I don't know. I don't care. Anyways. But sometimes, yeah, guys, don't be the type of person that gets with someone, you know how they are, you know their worldview, you know the things that they enjoy, and then you expect all that to change once you're with them. Please don't do that. Please don't do that, guys. Please don't. And definitely don't be the type to be like, you can't turn a blank into a blank. You know how people say. Don't be like that. Don't be cringe. Don't be cringe. All right? Don't be cringe. You know, it's fine. If that's what you want to do, it's whatever. You just shouldn't be together. That's it. That's all it is. You just shouldn't be together. All right? If that's her thing, that's her thing. If that's not your thing, that's not your thing. But yeah, whatever. Anyways. Guys, I'm getting off. I am tired of talking about the Spurs. I will see you on Wednesday. I think we got enough. Do we have enough? I think we got enough to post. Even if we don't, I'm not posting anything else. I'm tired of this. I'll give it to you guys later. I'll see you on Wednesday. Like I said, I'm okay with losses, but you got to at least try. That's my only problem. Try. Play hard. Anyways, maybe they need that wake-up call. Get with you later. Bye.